Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Jason here today. I have a solo playthrough for Gloomhaven, Buttons, and Bugs. This is a solo-only campaign game in the Gloomhaven universe. Look at the size of this box. How adorable is this package? But in that small package, you are going to get a lot of mechanism and flavor that you're familiar with from the larger Gloomhaven. You have scenarios, plenty of them. You'll be going through those scenarios in a mini adventure that plays out on these cards. You have your familiar characters in the solo playthrough playing the Spellweaver, but you also have some old favorites like the Cragheart and the Mind Thief, etc. Everyone has the familiar Gloomhaven set of cards and then ways to upgrade them over the course of your adventures. Buttons and Bugs is so similar to the original Gloomhaven and its sequels that I'm actually not going to go into a full rules overview. So much is evoked from there that I can jump right in. Some of the concepts will feel familiar. So after some channel announcements, we are going to go and dive right into Gloomhaven, Buttons, and Bugs. We are the One Stop Co-op Shop, a multi-platform gaming empire, and your one stop for solo and cooperative gaming goodness. First thing you do in a game of Button and Bugs is select your character. You have 6 to choose from in the basic box. I am going to select the Spellweaver, as I said in the intro, a lot of your favorites from the base Gloomhaven. Also, you are going to have their success chart, which is operationalized by a die. I'll show that in a second. That progresses. So just like in the game where you can improve that hit deck, you can... you get level 2, level 3, level 4, and your percentages improve, as well as, your ability to hit and get multipliers, all that kind of thing. In addition, every character is going to come with a base set of 4 cards that have an A and a B side. Once again, I will show that as we go on. As the characters level, they will have a chance, one at a time, to get improved cards, B cards. Every single character has their own unique set of cards that unlocks a playstyle. Again, familiar. The Bruiser is easy, low complexity. They bruise. That's what they do. The Silent Knife sneaks around. The Mind Thief can manipulate the enemies a little bit. The Tinkerer has ways of recovering their lost items. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all explore that. I feel like setting stuff on fire with the Spellweaver. In terms of the main play area, you're going to have a card where you can put discards and lost cards and items as you get them. Tells you how many hit points you have. We got the spinners over there. I'm the mage, so a piddly 10 hit points. That's not very good. And we have our outlay of 4 cards. I'm going to have them in my hand like that and play them 2 at a time every turn. You know how we roll in Gloomhaven. Here is the enemy area. Here is what simulates their hit deck. And if you want to make things easier or harder, you can manipulate that. So very easy. They have misses all over the place, and very hard. Yeah. Might want to play this 1 or 2 times before you try that. All scenarios are going to play out on a map card like this. Before we get there, we got some story to read. Go ahead and check the timestamps below if you want to jump right into the combat, but for now, let's get some narrative. What a time for Gloomhaven. First, a black tornado from the void nearly destroyed the city. Then there were reports of the very essence of corruption trying to end everything. But all's well that ends well. At the center of both events, Hale, a mysterious Aster who lives in the derelict tavern, the Crooked Bone. It is said she could turn anyone into a hero, exactly what you want to be. Sure, you don't have a lot of training, but put in front of the right adventure, you'd get the acclaim that is due to you. So with bold purpose, you step across the threshold at a Crooked Bone and... no, that's not right. Everything's growing. Why is the doorway so large? Why are you so small? Is this some sort of Esther enchantment? You've been shrunk. Got some fancy gear there. You whirl around, taking in your familiar yet unfamiliar surroundings. Your attention settles on a scruffy character behind you, luckily on par with your diminutive stature. Nice and shiny, like it's never been used. Hand it over and I'll let you live. Well, that simply won't do. Your gear is unused. There's really only one solution for that. Every scenario will tell you the monsters and the goal. We have to beat some bandit guards, and our goal, like in a lot of Gloomhaven games, defeat all monsters. And if you notice, this scenario is a level 1, which determines your beginning outlay, how many items you have, and a couple of other things, as we'll get into. That second card, what I read, is what I'm going to turn around and make the scenario. So you'll notice that there are these items on the top and bottom. I'll get to choose which one I get to keep after I beat this thing. That is how Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs handles that fat loot. Couple of features. Everything with a green border is impassable territory. Got to walk around it, although you can shoot through it. Thank goodness, says my mage. My mage is right there. Look at the cuteness. If anybody out there is painting theirs, then I am highly jealous. They come in right there. The white indicates where the bandits start. I got 2 bandits. I'll take the bandit card, put it in their holder, set the initiative die to the middle initially, get their hit points to 8. So we got green and we got red to coordinate with each one. I'm ready to rock. All right, we are ready to rumble. Here are the player cards, very familiar to veteran Gloomhaven players. First thing you do is select 2 cards to play, very familiar. Play 1 for its top move, 1 for its bottom. And we also have their initiative. So of the 2 cards you pick one of the numbers, and that is your initiative for the round. Let's go ahead and pick Dancing Gales and also Freezing Nova. So my initiative value is 21. Let's go ahead and check out what the bandit guard is going to do. You put their little cube on plus. They're going to go on 70. It didn't matter. I'd beat them every time. That is to determine what they are going to do in the round. They're going to move to and attack to if they can catch me. In case I didn't mention it before, the green is impassable terrain, but I can shoot through it. This orange, if any player enters there, whether by force or by choice, they suffer 1 damage. Don't have anything on this wizard character that pushes right now, so let's just go with offense. So we have Dancing Gales. Dancing Gales is awesome because just like the regular Gloomhaven mage, it goes off of elements. The more elements I see, the more powerful I am. There's no separate board to track elements like in the base Gloomhaven. Instead, this really clever system of having the elements on the cards themselves, as long as the element is visible, whether it's in the hand or the active play area, then I could use it once per turn to achieve the empowered thing. So if I really wanted to, I could be like, all right, I use that, I can't use that again, but I think I can keep track. Going to use the fire and the ice. Fire effect says that I get to give myself advantage, which will last throughout the round, and I get 2 attacks, so I get 2 times advantage. Advantage means I can roll this twice. So the card's basic attack is a range 3 shot with 2 damage. So that's where this comes in. Every time I take a shot, even if it's an area of effect against multiple creatures, you got to roll for each creature. So let's go ahead and take advantage of my advantage. Nope. Let's go ahead and do that second roll. Yes, that's why advantage is good. My shot hits with a +1. All bandits have a shield, which means they reduce all incoming damage from attacks, and my wizard doesn't have any pierce. This is terrible, but at least I rolled my +1 for 3, which means this green dude goes down from 8, 7, 6. Hey, guess what? I have a visible ice from the other Freezing Nova that I played, so let us do that again. Only I get to add Muddle, which is disadvantage on the roll, whether I hit or not. So we move that down 1, and I could get a mega attack, at least for level 1 I do. Fantastic. Love having advantage. So that is 4 total damage minus the 1 shield. They are down to 3 right at the jump. Excellent. And so I can use the bottom of Freezing Nova to give myself 1 shield, 1 retaliate. That wouldn't be so bad. And I could keep it going perpetually, which is what this infinity symbol means, basically for the end of the encounter. That would be cool. But I'd lose the card. I don't know if I'm ready to do that just yet. So let's go ahead and just move. Get me out of there. Why did I do that? Because 1, 2, 1, 2. They're closing in, but I don't care. All right, start a new round. These A cards that I use get flipped over to their B side, slightly more powerful and also slower. But let's go ahead and use my 2 A cards again. We got Arcane Bolt and Fire Orbs. My initiative on the Arcane Bolt is 26, so I'm going to beat the Bandit Guard again. Always very important. This time, they are going to go even slower and do their weakest thing. How wonderful. So this Arcane Bolt isn't enough to kill anybody. I did it really for the speed. But I will cover one of the elements. I still have fire available. And give this guy a good thwap. As always in Gloomhaven, when you do something to yourself, it's generally until end of next turn. So the last turn I did it, and now I have one more turn of advantage. So that's pretty good, but I have advantage. Good thing I had advantage. I didn't add anything, but at least I didn't subtract, and now we move that down. That green guard takes 1 piddly damage thanks to their shield, down to 2. But I get to use my Fire Orbs action, no throwing this away whatsoever. That if I did the Fire Orbs, which is coming, I would have to throw it away. But instead, we're going to run. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm looking in the rules. I do not believe that there is a penalty for moving in and out of adjacent enemy squares in buttons and bugs. So I'll plan on taking advantage of that with my Squishy Cleric as much as possible. The bandit would like to get at me, but they don't want to step over the trap, so they got to step around it. This bandit is going to move over here, directly in Ice Bolt range. Icy Blast, Icy Bolt, whatever, as long as they're dead, the best status effect. All right, so my initiative is 25, so of course I'm playing it so that I'm always first, because I like the first strike, and they are going to go on a 70 and do their bigger move. Now with Icy Blast in effect, we have one roll right here to try to take out the one wounded guard. That is a 0. That was academic because they only had 2, but you got to make the roll. Move through the deck, no cheating. Oh, that was really nice armor. And we're saving the possible times 2 for the fresh one. Let's see if I'm able to get it. No advantage this time. I could have gotten advantage off of this card, but you need fire available. That's the kind of push and pull. You can't always trigger your elements. You just have to make sure that you trigger the right ones. I'll take what I can get over here, and I got the miss. That's a shame. That is down to 2 damage, unfortunately. Down from 4. Icy Blast goes in the lost pile. I still have Crackling Air, and I'm able to move 3. Didn't have the element to get this going on, but I am not standing around to get hit. So we're going to go 1, 2. 1, 2. Too bad. Opening scenario. You can't catch me. By the way, when I played this scenario with the Bruiser, they really messed me up. So I'm getting revenge right in this playthrough for all of y'all's pleasure. My bad. I went the full 3 into the corner so that they don't reach me. Got to play these 2 cards. My only 2 cards left available to me. They have their minus, so they are going to move the 2, but they have an extra shield, which does not make me happy. These stack. Now they have 2. So they're not a threat to me. However, time is a threat to me. So let's go ahead and do the Reviving Ether. So that means recover all cards in my lost pile to the A side. So the Icy Blast was lost. We're going to turn that around back to Freezing Nova. Put that back in my hand. And also, I would gain advantage, but I don't have any fire available. So this is just a pot shot. I'm just kind of wishing that I get the plus, because any other outcome would be a failure. That is a failure. I didn't get through their shield. Oops. So Reviving Aether is lost, but I get these 3 cards. You shuffle them up and you discard one of them. Time is ticking. Bye-bye. Fire Orbs. Didn't need the multi-attack anyway, although losing the fire. Not that great. And so I basically have 2 turns left. I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to play this, and then hopefully by then the scenario is done and the guard is dead. All right, I may have run a little bit too much. I got very cute with this, trying not to take damage. Hopefully I don't get exhausted by timing. So got to play Dancing Gales. I'm going to go first. They are going to go on a 70. They're going to move 2. All right, so let's do Dancing Gales. I can't give myself advantage, but I can give myself the 2 attacks. Now this is without advantage, so these attacks are not going to be that great. So that's 1 hit for 1 damage, bringing them down to 5. And let's see if I can get a little bit more damage out of this next one. Yes. Okay, so that is a hit for 3, which brings them down to 3. Ugh, why is this coming down to the wire? That's not great. So I would put up 1+1 shield, +1 retaliate, but that would lose me the card, which would mean I don't have cards to play next turn. Exhausted means you don't have 2 cards to play. So I just got to move. Although I have nowhere to move. Oh no! They're going to get me. Oh no, they finally got me. So they are going to roll on their chart, which is such a shame that they actually got something off on me. They're going to hit me for 3 damage. Ow! Started at 10. That brings me down to 7. There's actually no way that I could lose because I did get Icy Blast back, but they might get one last shot on me first. They will. So they're going to move forward. They're going to move on to 30, which is before me. They're going to attack me for 1, plus whatever they get on this die. They get that, which is a 1. Bringing me down to 6. But I did get my Icy Blast back. As long as I don't roll a minus, I'm good to go. Watch what happens. That's not a minus. That's a plus. Oh, I ran you all around. You should be mine. Well, your gear certainly isn't shiny anymore. And it wasn't even particularly fancy to begin with, come to think of it. Got the job done at least, but your situation is quite dire. You'll need to survive long enough to find out how to restore yourself to the original size. But for now, you'll need to deal with the vermling that just appeared. Before I talk to this vermling, I have this snazzy card over here. Here is the scenario card. Here are the items that I can get. So, Venomous Fang during your melee attack. No, thank you. Rose Thorn attack. During your attack, use an element to add piercing. Heck yeah, using that Rose Thorn knife. And it doesn't specify that it is anything. So I could use these elements at any time. It would be Frost. So I use it at any time as long as I have that available to me. The Collector. You took out the scavengers, I say. The Vermling offers. You're not the first one to barge in on Hale and get this less than ideal result. We've all been there. Some of us have realized the need to work together if we're to make the best of this. I assume you would like to be big again, wouldn't you? You nod. Then I got a proposal for you. During my time here, I've got collected things that may be useful. You may borrow them, and in exchange, I will accompany you. I can also tell you that your best hope for escape is getting up to the Crooked Bone and taking up the issue with Hale. Unfortunately, you look behind you to see the doors firmly closed. Yeah, the only way in is through Button's Kingdom, across the road. Come on! So here is another set of items that you can get. One of them is hand. You can take 2 hand items. You can also take bag items relative to your level. Right now I'm level 1, so I can't take many. Let's go ahead and take the Shrunken Weathered Boots. During your movement, add +1 move. You can get into a window with a crooked bone by ziplining across the grumbling Garalev. The Collector says. They point to another derelict tavern in front of you, otherwise known as Button's Kingdom. The Collector hesitates, gesturing to a small crowd of bandits in the cobblestone street, blocking your path. All right, so we are ready to approach Hale. This time I got myself a guard right here who is blue, and then I have 2 archers. Let's demonstrate some different play style. My character will begin at their familiar entry spot. Let's rock. So this time we're going to do it a little bit differently. I love opening with Dancing Gales because I can proc both of these effects. I love being empowered. And this time I'm going to go Freezing Nova. I'll show you how I work that in a second. Now I roll for the archer and the guard separately. The guard will always go behind me. They are going to go on their circle. And as for the archer, good. They do not go in front of me. They're at 31. I'm at 21. Let's do it. So now I am empowered. Roar. Strengthened. I'm not sure what the game calls it. You get the idea. 2 shots are going to go towards that one red archer in the corner. So we got +1. Yeah! I'll absolutely take that. That's going to be 3 damage for their face. Move that down. Can I do some major damage? Yeah! Gloomhaven was missing this. The sheer joy of dice rolling. Love that Buttons and Bugs squeeze that in. And so by a stroke of luck, one bandit archer goes from their total of 7 hit points, noted right here. There's no shield on them. They are out. What was that? I didn't even get a chance to go get them, boys. And also, instead of running, I learned my lesson from last time. We're just going to go ahead and ditch this card, or at least have it available to me for the round. Going to have +1 shield and +1 retaliate. The retaliate, unfortunately, does not apply to the archer. The archer moves 1. That I guess not going to do them very good. They don't even reach me. But the bandit guard does. They are going to move their 1 and attack me for 2. See if they get through my armor. Well, the pluses are flowing all around. So their total is 3. I was able to lower it to 2. So now I'm down from 10 to 8. And also, at the very least, they are down to 7. Retaliate does not interact with their shield. That is helpful. All right, so like I said, we're approaching this scenario a little bit different, a lot more tanky. Let's go ahead and get Arcane Bolt and Ember Frost out there. And I'm going to go slower. I kind of want them to go first. We'll go 67. So the guard is going to go nice and fast, and they put up more shield. That is unfortunate for me. And the bandit archer is also going to go super fast, but they still can't reach me. I like the look of that. Archer steps forward, 1, 2, 3. Nope. That is unfortunate for them, being very cautious. However, the bandit guard is going to unleash their attack, 1 damage. Let's see if they could do any more than that. They have a 0, so that is 1 damage total. Gets blocked by my shield. And also, they hit for the retaliate. I love it. So here's where some of the element stuff comes into play. Freezing Nova is still in play. It does get lost, but it will be lost when I drop the persistence. So it is still up. It'll be lost when I say so. Still giving me this ice, and the ice, according to the Rosethorn knife, gives me a pierce on an attack. Wonderful. And I also have fire orbs up as well. Fire orbs allows me to, when I heal myself, which is what I'm going to do, I am back up to a mighty 10. There we go. And I can add 1 to all the attacks this round, and that is going to be this Ember Frost. So I do have an advantage for the rest of the round because I got that last round. However, I'm in melee, so the advantage and disadvantage cancels out. So this is just a straight up roll. Come on, at least middle of the pack. Oh my God, I'm on a hot streak. Yeah! So that is +1 on top of the 3. And then also +1 from the buff on Arcane Bolt. So that is 5 total against 2 shield. One less shield because I had piercing. So they go down from 6 all the way down to 2. Feeling much better about this one. All right, next round. I only got 2 cards left. This is a somewhat poor planning, but kind of funny. I am going to go last. I'm going to go with that 91 on the Reviving Ether. Let's see what my enemies do. My enemy is going to go, the guard is going to go on a circle. The archer is going to go a little bit slower. They're going to do a little bit more damage. I don't like the sound of that. All right, so I have the retaliate up. I'm not too worried, and they can also miss on this roll. They don't miss. They are at a 0. So it is 2 minus 1 is 1. I take a damage. Now down to 9. You take a damage. How wonderful is that? The archer, though, they are winding up for a massive shot, but they miscalculated. You got nothing for me. So here's the miscalculation. So I brought this out pretty early. Getting these out, the burn cards early, is just a little bit annoying because it just messes up the flow. You leave yourself with less turns. I thought it was worth it anyway, but I can't remove fire orbs. If I remove fire orbs, and I'm kind of done for the game. Having 2, and I can't do the recovery, so that's not great. But thank you to the retaliate over here that has done such good work. I can use fire orbs for the regular melee attack. So the regular melee attack is 2 as long as I overcome their shield. And I also have the Rose Gauntlet, and it's renewed for the turn. I just use this symbol, and it is able to pierce. So no matter what I do, I will defeat this guard with a regular melee little knife to the eye. There you go. Oh, that's so embarrassing. So move myself forward 1. We are ready for the final battle. This is going to still keep going. It is persistent, so the way I read the rule is it's there until I decide that it's not there. All right, so we are going to reshuffle. And unfortunately, so this... let's see, the fire orbs are at a B. Everything else is on the A side because they came from the discard. I kind of want to get rid of the B, and I'm probably going to take damage to kind of make sure that happens, because you get rid of cards. You have to get rid of one of these cards, and if you don't like the card that you pick, then you take damage and you pick another one. All right, so we are going to shuffle up, and let's see what we get. We are going to get rid of that one. Now we're not doing that. So we are going to go down from 9 to 8, and we will select the fire card. So this is not bad, but it doesn't really combo what I got going on. And so I'll have 2 turns left with these 2 cards to take out this last archer. So we're going to go on a 21. The banded archer is going to go a little bit later. We can get rid of that banded guard, right? Get out of here. So let's go ahead and do this again. 3 healing for self, back up to a beautiful 10. No problem at all. I still got the frost up here, so I get the extra shot. No source of fire. This is lost through the game. So I won't have advantage, but at least I'll get the 2 shots. So my luck could run out here. Let's see what happens. Okay, so 2 minus 1 is 1. I have no way to empower that. That's unfortunate. So that is only 1 damage to the archer. Let's see what else I can do. It's also going to get muddled with this. So that is a nice 1. That is a nice 0. So they go down from 7 to 4. So they're winding up that big shot again. However, this attack, the dancing Gales, gave them muddle, which means they have disadvantage. They roll twice, take the lower, and I have a shield up. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Yep, we're going to absolutely re-roll that. Down to that. Okay, so they are adding 0 to that. Running into my shield, which is 2. That brings me down to 8. Take my word for it. So I'm finally going to let the Freezing Nova drop. Why? I lied when I said I only had 2 turns left. I have the Reviving Ether is back up, and I'm going to use it. Take all cards back and put them on their A side, so that buys me 2 more turns. Woohoo! And I left myself with Ember Frost, so I will get a thwap at him well, I'm going to live. He doesn't have too much of a chance. He gets me 1-on-1. So let's see what their initiative is. It is a plus. They're still at 64. They want to get the larger thwap on me. Both these numbers are higher, so they are going to get at least 1 shot. They don't have disadvantage. This could be really, really ugly with that ×2. It is not ugly. So they just hit me for 3. Bringing me down to 5. I don't love that, but in terms of the big race, they're at 4, and I got a thwap left for them. Let's go ahead and roll at the top of the chart. I have 0. They are no shielded, so they go down from 4 to 2. 1 more round left, hopefully. Yep, it's academic at this point. I got fire orbs up. I can only roll as much as -1. They have 2 hit points left. Just to make it official, though, because they will get a shot probably before me. They will get their shot at a 2. This is more for morale on their part. So they shoot me for 2. I have no shield. I got no nothing. I go down to 3. But I don't even have to dignify this with a roll. The worst I could do is -1. 3 minus 1 is 2. Oh, yeah. So satisfying. Standing on the other side of the street before the towering, grumbling Garalev, the collector clears their throat. Honestly, it's probably best to avoid Button entirely. Very eccentric. I recommend sneaking through a crack in the wall. There's a fork in the scenario, so the bruiser is just going to walk into the front door and barge in. The other ones have to sneak in through the walls. But if you look at the next scenario, there is level 2, so I get goodies. So I get to improve my hit card. Not by much, but I do get a couple of more +2s and the ability to immobilize on a certain result. I also get to choose from among hit cards. Look at these delectable options, including this one that'll give you any element. You see that I'm starting to craft a character that can wants to use elements basically the entire time. There is a chart that shows which cards replace which. So if I wanted that chromatic explosion, then I would have to get rid of Arcane Bolt, etc. but I think that is sufficient for a playthrough. Veteran Gloomhaven players, I will let you be the judge for yourself how much this evokes the core experience. For me, I am just marveled at how much they took all of the core concepts like the playing of the cards and how the enemies work, tactical movement, and boiled it down to this tiny package. And if you go into the advanced scenarios, which I will not spoil, but you can anticipate that there will be different terrain challenges, harder enemies, and there is a pretty healthy amount of scenarios that are left in this pack. Let me know what you think of the playthrough in the comments below. Until then, this is Jason with the One Stop Co-op Shop, reminding you that we'll see you at the next stop.